So now we're going to do the tarot reading for the week ahead, and this is going to be late October, October 20th through the 26th. Okay, so let's see what we end up getting. Let's bring our camera down. There we go. Now, there we go. We want to make sure those are in view. And we're going to draw 3 cards. This is going to be for the beginning of the month, the middle to end of the month. Oh, hold on. That was middle to the end there. Actually, there's actually 2 in the center there. Saw what they both were. And then we also have for the weekend ahead. So let's see what we end up getting here, because we're entering into the end of October. There could be some major changes within your life. There's always changes happening in everyone's life. So many changes happen within our life that we may not be able to deal with. So this is for the beginning of the week here. This is going to be for the weekend. Okay, we already have our 2 for the middle to the end of the week. So for the beginning of the week, what do we have? Okay. So this card here, if we take a look, this is the 10 of Swords. This is someone being impaled by a bunch of swords here. Now this can look very negative. As you can see, this person is being impaled by a bunch of swords. There's some sort of collapse or defeat. He feels as though he can't go on anymore. This is basically the end of the road for him. As like, you see that cute little deer right there looking? So maybe you feel as though this is it for you. That whatever that maybe the past few weeks you've been working on, something that you're doing within your life, you feel as though maybe you can't actually succeed with it. You're coming to an end with it. And it's going to be maybe a bit destructive in nature. And you feel as though there's some sort of collapse that is happening. Some sort of loss, going through a difficult situation within your life. But here's the thing, whenever something ends, something new comes into place. It may not happen right away, but I can just tell you from my own experience dealing with all sorts of things when it comes to personal matters, friendships, when something ends, something new comes in. And sometimes, it's not all the time, sometimes that new thing that comes in could be even better. So just because something ends doesn't necessarily mean it is a bad thing. Okay? Now, if we got the death card as well, that also, very similar type of meaning in that when something ends, it is the death of something. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It could be something positive. It's the death of an old way that you were doing things that no longer serve you. Okay? Let's go ahead and review these here. These were 2 cards for the middle to the end of the week. As you can see here, okay, so you have another sword here. The 2 of Swords. See a woman who's blindfolded here. Almost like she's trying to make some sort of choice here. But she's blinded by this choice. She doesn't know what to do. She feels as though maybe she's stuck. Which makes sense after this happens. When there's some sort of collapse or defeat, you feel as though you are stuck. What do I do? Where do I go? I don't know what to do. And it can make you feel pretty bad, right? It really can. It can make you feel as though, how do you proceed forward with all this confusion? But the thing is, a choice has to be made, right? Even if you don't make any sort of choice in a matter, that's still making a choice. Our whole life is pretty much about choices. We're making a choice about something. If something serves us, if something does not serve us. So we have to be the one to make that choice. No one else can make that choice for us, right? No, they cannot. Okay? Now for the next card in the middle here, we have the Empress. This is card number 3 of the Major Arcana. Number 3, Empress. Now this is a very caring, almost like a motherly type of energy here. And this can be very, very good, because if we look at the defeat here, defeat, stalemate, maybe you do need some sort of figure, some sort of motherly figure or some sort of feminine figure, or something that is very kind, very nice, very calm and collected, to really help steer you in a better direction. Really help get you out of this very negative situation that you find yourself in. Because when you're in here, you're basically stuck. You're basically stuck in this situation. So this is a very nurturing card, very friendly, very kind, to help lift you into something much more positive. Something much more positive. Let's see what the weekend brings here. Then we have, here's another major arcana card. Here is the moon. There it is. Lots of mysteries here, right? In the moon card. So the moon can represent something maybe deep down that you've been repressing, or things that are very uncertain to you at this time. Things that perhaps maybe you're just kind of all over the place with your emotions. You don't really know where to really go from here. There's a type of illusion within this sort of situation that you find yourself in. But this is certainly a better situation than these negative ones where you feel as though there can be nothing, there's nothing positive. You start to maybe pick yourself up a little bit, and maybe there's some confusion now as to what to really do, but also start to be a bit more grounded with this decision that you're making, with the future that is before you. To start to think things a bit more carefully and not jump to any sort of conclusion as to what you think could happen. Because maybe that's where some of this thinking was coming from. You feel as though a sense of defeat because you jumped to conclusions about something that happened. This is telling you now to slow down a little bit and just start to think things through in a more logical approach. Just be calm and patient with yourself. So this certainly sounds like, if you're going through this rough period, that things can start to improve. It's not going to happen overnight. It will take some time. But this is something that you feel as though right now you just feel very, very bad about a situation, something. And maybe there will be a positive figure that will help you, start to guide you. And then you begin to, pick yourself up a little bit. You start to see some more value in certain things. Start to look at things more logically. Whatever the case is, this is a great time to start realizing maybe this is the end of something very negative for you, and it's time to start venturing into something more positive.